G'day Tiger TV fans, I'm on my way around to Vice President Gary King's place. He's having a bit of a gala around at his joint with a couple of the players. We'll get a few people's views on how the game went. We also might have a couple of chats to a few of our more influential people around the footy club. Hope you can join us. Well, we're here at Gary King's residence, and Gary holds a bit of an annual, what do you call it, VP's luncheon for the VPs and a few of the playing group. Gary, first of all, how long have you been involved in the VPs group?
Probably about 11 or 12 years at this stage, yeah.
Okay, and currently your current role in the group is?
I'm chairman of the vice presidents, elected by the vice presidents. This obviously gives me a seat on the board. Yep. Just to represent the vice presidents group on the board. Oh,
very good. And how many years have you been the chairman for?
It's my 7th year.
7th year, fantastic. So, Gary, obviously, off the field, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. What is the role of the Vice President's group?
Basically, in years gone by, and still to this day, it's more of a coterie group. We're there to do this sort of thing. You know, today we'll raise some funds, we're having some raffles and so forth. So it's fundraising for the club to put some dollars into the bank.
And obviously it's a great opportunity for some of the players to meet some of the people behind the footy club, I guess the people that sort of tick it over. But I mean, from my personal point of view, I think it's a great opportunity for guys to establish some contacts in the community, guys from out of town. And has there been some sort of success stories over the years where players have sort of managed to sort of work in closely with some of the VPs?
Look, some of the guys that we've had in the footy department have come over and at times we've given them work, and from there they've gone on, like Chris Bone from Bone Timbers, employed people. Right. A few of the other boys have got companies. I know years ago we offered a couple of guys a bit of work at our business, and they moved on from there because I'm sure they didn't want to be driving trucks and delivering furniture.
It's a good foot in the door, though.
It is a good foot in the door. So that we're there to help the guys as much as we possibly can with a lot of the guys that have businesses. Yeah,
that's terrific. It's much appreciated. You were saying earlier that your family, I guess your wife in particular and her family, have had a long association with the Glenelg Footy Club. Do you just want to quickly run over that again for me?
Well, my wife Karen Brown, her father is Warren Brown, and Warren's been involved with the club for many, many years, personally, of course. Back in the mid to late 90s, the Glenelg Football Club was the first club to form a board in the SANFL.
Yeah, right.
And Warren sat on that board. And at that stage, he was the chairman of vice presidents, believe it or not. Okay. And he was the chair for 13 years, I think it was.
Wow.
So basically, I'm doing what my father-in-law did all those years ago.
Right, I'm sure he'd be happy with his wife's choice.
Oh, yeah.
With your wife's choice.
I wasn't allowed in the family if I didn't do it, I don't think.
Terrific, Gary. Well, thanks so much for all your support during the year. Look forward to catching up with you. Yeah. You too. Take care. Alright, Tiger TV fans, I got Tom Gleghorn here, who shares some Scottish heritage with me, he just tells me, being Alleway and Gleghorn. Tom, a long-time Glenelg fan, is just about to tell us about how he basically got involved with the Glenelg Football Club. So, Tom, away you go. How did you first come to be involved with the Glenelg Footy Club?
Mainly through Corns, through Graham Corns, who was then a student doing phys ed at Bedford Park, along with Craig, ex-coach of Port.
Craig, I'm not sure.
Manos, the man with the short neck.
Neil Craig, right. Manos.
It's named, the students used to call him Manos.
Right.
Anyhow, as a painter, I felt like would like to do do something with football.
Right.
Anyhow, Graham took me down to Glenelg. I was a member of Norwood because I mixed with all the academic staff up there. They had their certain teams. And as a newcomer from New South Wales, I was head of the art school at the Art College of Canberra, and I came across the year.
You were sucked into Norwood initially?
Yeah, so I just chose Norwood. Anyhow, what was I going to say then?
Graham Corns.
Oh yeah, so I got very, very interested in doing something about footballers. I'd already painted a painting that Mary Alice Ebbett, Doc Ellis had, about footballers in Canberra. And anyhow, Cornsey took me down to Glenelg, and he also took me into the room.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what happened in the meantime, but I finished up becoming a member, then a vice president, then completely and utterly involved in the game.
Tiger through and through.
Yeah, and now mind you, I still don't know the rules.
But you're there. I don't think I've been to a club function that you haven't attended yet.
No, I just love the place. I just love the club. Yeah.
Been a fantastic supporter of the footy club. Obviously, over the years, Tom, I've only been at the footy club a couple of years now, but I've been super impressed with your generous, donations in artwork. More recently, we were just talking and sharing a little bit about our friend Dean Bailey, who recently passed.
Yeah, Bales.
Bales was my first coach up at Mount Gravatt in 1998, and my first ever game of senior football I actually played alongside Dean Bailey, and it's been a great privilege and an honour now to play with his son. But he obviously, I remember you sort of saying he really struck a chord with you from the first time you met him.
The first time I met him, he had a very in my experience with Bales, he had a very searching mind. It was more or less a question and answer relationship. He had a searching mind. We spoke at great lengths about wine, especially red wine, which is the love of both of us. And he bounced around the perimeters of art and what was I doing as a painter, and what was I supposed to be at, and what was I searching for. I found these questions very difficult to answer. Questions from a footballer that I respected, and a lot of these questions were unanswered, and they still are not completely answered. But needless to say, I just loved him. He's a lovely man.
Yep.
And since his unfortunate demise, I've met his wife Karen and Darcy, his son.
Yep.
And I have a great deal of affection. I wish I'd have met them earlier.
Right. No, they're lovely people. They're a beautiful family. And obviously, in answering those questions, you sort of said earlier that you did a series of paintings which you've donated to the football club, which they've since raffled off. So
yes, it was just a personal thing with me, trying to get I was amazed at how his death affected me.
Would it have been a few years since you'd seen him? Would it have been a number of years?
No, not a number of years. Just a few years. It was when he became involved, when he went to Melbourne and then with Port, and we caught up when he came back to Glenelg for a short talk. And the last time I saw him, I put my arms down and kissed him.
As you've been known to do once or twice before.
He didn't like that very much.
No.
But I'm so pleased that I did that. Of course, I loved the man. He was a very special individual. I didn't care whether he was a football or whoever he was. He was an individual with a searching mind, and I have had the most utter respect and love for the man.
As we did. All right, Tom. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Look forward to having more of a drink with you, and we'll speak soon.